Of all the financial strategies that soon-to-be retirees may use while planning their income for retirement, eliminating debt is among the most important. Almost all financial planners agree that carrying debt into retirement is a very dangerous move, one that can lead to unnecessary stress on your financial future while potentially draining your retirement savings. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York Center for Microeconomic Data, for 2018, Americans ages 60 to 69 have broken the $2 trillion level in overall debt. Oh, and also in 2018, Americans age 70 plus have exceeded the $1 trillion mark. With both groups, that's up to half from 10 years ago. Hello, and welcome back to Finance Speaks. I'm Kyle Sadler, president of Precept Wealth Management and best-selling author of I'm Retired, Now What? I'm here today to talk to you about debt in retirement. Now, my apologies that this is going to be a long video. However, imagine that this is like a Sunday morning sermon that preacher gives on tithing. It's necessary, and we understand nobody is excited to hear about it. So instead of preaching on it every week, we're just going to hit it hard and long, like one of those sermons, semi-annually. So grab your cup of coffee, here we go. First, let's not get fixated on the notion that debt is bad. Not all debt in retirement is bad. Heck, sometimes debt may be necessary. For debts such as mortgage, home equity loans, and margin loans, repayments may be affordable in retirement due to the fact that the tax benefits and historically low interest rates. However, please consult a qualified tax advisor because the Tax Cut and Jobs Act of 2017 eliminated some, if not all interest deduction, just some on home equity loans. Favorable debt. For debts such as mortgages, home equity loans, and margin loans, repayments may be affordable in retirement due to the fact that tax benefits and the historically low interest rates are present. However, please consult a qualified tax advisor because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 eliminated some, if not all, interest deduction for home equity debt and may result in far fewer taxpayers benefiting from itemizing the deductions. But even if you do not qualify for income tax deductions, paying down, say, a 4% mortgage is nice, but if you can earn 6% with that same money, it may be more savvy move to keep the money invested instead of paying the mortgage down and pay it out over time. You may decide that paying off your mortgage is a priority, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you fall under the example that I just provided, where you are earning more than you are paying, you could always add additional towards extra mortgage payments. Over the years, I have witnessed the opposite pattern and need to address this one. Non-retirees and retirees have money the size of their mortgages in a CD at the bank, yet they are paying higher interest rates on their mortgage than they are being paid for on keeping that money in that CD. At this point, this is where I start recommending, assuming money is available for emergency purposes, that mortgages get paid down or paid off. In essence, these individuals or couples are paying their bank to invest their money and make more money off of them. Ain't it funny? I have found that a lot of the same people complain about bank fees. This just makes as much sense as a screen door on a submarine. Now, let our attention now turn to unfavorable debt. These are debts like personal loans, credit cards, and auto loans, just to name a few. Debt is generally unfavorable for individuals and couples of all ages, but retirees in particular. Debt lessens a retiree's cash flow, which is the essential element of a retirement plan. This is because retirees typically live on a fixed income derived from their Social Security, pensions, and retirement savings. As I have discussed in previous videos, retirement income is generally lower than pre-retirement income. So this makes the debt repayments that were once manageable while working a larger consumer of the retirement income. Because of this unfavorable debt, it begins making it a challenging to live comfortably in retirement while paying down outstanding loans. Because of this, these kinds of debts should retire before savings, and more importantly, your standard of living is reduced. Throughout my career, one of the more common mistakes I witness by underinformed retirees is taking money out of a 401k or an IRA to pay off your mortgage. This essentially is a bad idea if you haven't reached the age of 59 and a half. You may owe penalties and income taxes on your withdrawal, which will likely offset any benefit of an early payoff. However, even if you're not subject to the penalty, there is still the fact that we live in a progressive tax system, and large withdrawals will incur unnecessary taxation of these assets, let alone potential benefits I discussed previously. Please take a moment to speak with a qualified tax professional before making any irreversible decisions such as this. Next mistake is inflation. As retirees' monthly income is generally derived from fixed income sources, understanding that the majority of pension systems, including Social Security, do not traditionally keep up with inflation. I know what you're thinking, but trust me, and years of historical data, again, most pension systems and Social Security just do not keep up with that inflation. COLAs, cost of living adjustments, do not keep up with inflation. Therefore, with debt expenses increasing because of purchasing and inflation, my best advice is that unfavorable debt has to be minimalized, if not completely extinguished, prior to retirement. But to someone approaching or already in retirement, the need to eliminate debt may appear to be imminent. There is only one way to eliminate debt, and that is 1. Prioritizing paying down their most expensive debts first. Now, I love Dave Ramsey, but we're not speaking of kudos, and I'm not as nice as him. The debt snowball is a great idea, but I'm going to be blunt. Attack that debt. Number 2, delay retirement. If you can't find room in your budget to boost your debt payments now, look for ways to generate more income. Consider postponing retirement in a few years. Okay, fortunately, I do recognize some other methods, but they are not methods that I recommend. There are a number of methods that retirees can use to eliminate or reduce the burden of their debt. So, next one, number 3, alter your budget. I'm not a fan of this one because by nature, we have to live this standard of living for the past 30 years, and now all of a sudden we are supposed to completely change our habits? My thoughts are like crash dieting. It may work for the short period of time, but most people revert back to their old habits over the long term. Number 4, consider a reverse mortgage. please do a lot of research prior to making this decision. Number 5, mortgage refinancing. This is not eliminating debt, this is just renaming it. Number 6, work in retirement. Not always a great plan because we never know what will occur during our retirement. Number 7, debt consolidation. Not my favorite, and in my opinion, avoid this as much as possible. Number 8, another alternative is downsizing to a home with lower property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and utilities. Okay, really, I'm not a bad guy. In fact, I will probably be one of your biggest cheerleaders that you are ever venture with through this process. So please don't fret. Whether someone is 35 or 75, know that managing debt is an evolving process, so keep your sights on a debt-free retirement. As we wrap up, we want to understand that retirees are living longer than ever now. They need sufficient returns on investments to balance the course of income. If income is stressed with an unmanageable debt expense, they may revert to being more aggressive with their investment savings, which will lead to tragic long-term effects. So, a reduction or elimination of debt expenses allows money a chance to grow long term and potentially outlast a retiree, and providing a lifetime of financial security. So please remember, the earlier you can formulate a strategy to confront it, the easier it is to tackle. And the better chance we give yourself and living the retirement you've envisioned, because this is how finance speaks. I'm Kyle Sadler, headed out until next time. Be blessed and know that faith cannot be present if there is any doubt. I'd like to send a special thank you to the following: the Federal Reserve Bank of New York Center for Microeconomic Data, AARP, and Merrill Lynch. Oh yeah, and thank you to predator companies like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase Bank, and the many other lending institutions that push and push so hard and make it so easy to get overwhelmed with debt, and then write those warm and fuzzy articles because people getting in over their head with debt makes them more money. But I do have to say, because of these companies and individuals and the assistance they provide with the research and information and guidance, these videos wouldn't be possible. So thank you.